guys, today I'm going to present on maternal exposure to toxins and the impact on development of babies. Some topics to be addressed today are general information on the toxins, literature on exposure to toxins, and the clinical implications of literature, and then any future research questions that I found. So, some general information on the research of exposure to toxins in development is the impact of toxins on fetal development is determined by the level of exposure, the length of time of exposure, and the stage of pregnancy. So for the level of exposure, they have preconception, placenta transfer, and amniotic fluid. And then for the stage of pregnancy, and the same toxin may have different effects depending on the stage of pregnancy. And some notes on that are, so the type of toxin can actually determine the level of impact. So the preconception exposure means that with the heavy metals, so lead and mercury, these can present with stillbirth, infertility, and miscarriages. So this is even before the baby is born. Placental transfer, that deals with, depending on the characteristics of the subject or the substance and of the placenta play a role. So this is determined by blood flow, metabolism, thickness, and the surface area. And amniotic fluid is the fluid of the amniotic sac. So here's a list of possible toxins. So tobacco, cocaine, marijuana, opiates, alcohol, prescription medicine, environmental toxins, and PCB. So here's the literature on maternal exposure to toxins and the impact on development. Some of the studies to be mentioned are as follows. And the toxin exposure and brain development. So this is complex and it has three main factors: timing, dose, and route of exposure. Then are the neurotransmitters, and the types of toxins are illicit and illegal. And illicit is just a fancy word for illegal. So, some notes on that are that the chemical neurotransmitters is the coordination of brain circuits and neurons which are developed in the prenatal stages of development. And the type of toxin can actually determine somewhat a level of impact, like I talked about before. So alcohol and nicotine, which are legal drugs, they can have more of a severe impact versus cocaine. And this is because alcohol and nicotine you can use multiple times a day. Cocaine, you have to have a down period after you get high. So that's why they can have more of an impact. And then cocaine in development. So cocaine in development are, again, the dopamine receptors, which are in your brain. And the second trimester is the most vulnerable with the dopamine receptors and the damage that it can cause. Cocaine babies experience withdrawal symptoms promptly after birth, just like they would if they were a human or a taller human. And then they have long-lasting effects, cognitive and attention deficits, and emotional reactivity, which basically means that they can overreact to a lot of situations. And then some more on cocaine. So there was a study that dealt with cocaine and the neonatal ABRs, which is a measure in your brain. It's the automatic brainstem response. And the researchers took a look at that and the impact on development. So basically, what they found was the disrupted neurotransmitter function at several levels of the nervous system, and those are as follows. Yeah, that's good. So you can stop.